Hi everyone, welcome back. Good to be with you all again. I had a little look for the Hebrew version of Elijah again, but once again I couldn't find it, so I'm going to go on to the Apocalypse of Zerubbabel. And without further ado, because I think this might be more than one video, before I start actually, there is one thing in here that I do wonder about. I'm not too sure about, where it kind of says that Archangel Michael is Metatron, whereas I've read in other scriptures that Metatron is Enoch. So I don't really understand what that's all about, but anyway, you'll see it as I'm reading through. So here we go. This is the word which came to Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, future governor of Judah. On the 24th day of the 7th month, the Lord showed me this spectacle there while I was prostrate in prayer before the Lord my God, experiencing a visionary spectacle which I saw by the river Kebar. And as I was reciting the passage of Amida, which ends, "Blessed are you, O Lord, the one who resuscitates the dead," my heart groaned within me, thinking, how will the form of the temple come into existence? He answered me from the doors of heaven and said to me, "Are you Zerubbabel ben Shealtiel, governor of Judah?" I responded, "I am your servant." He answered me and conversed with me just as a person would speak to their friend. I could hear his voice, but I could not see his appearance. I continued to lie prostrate as before, and I completed my prayer. Then I went to my house. On the 11th day of the month, Adar, he was speaking with me again there, and he said to me, "Are you my servant Zerubbabel?" I responded, "I am your servant." He said to me, "Come to me, ask me anything and I will tell you." I answered and said, "What might I ask? That my appointed lifespan be short and my destiny fulfilled?" He said to me, "I will make you live a long life." He repeated, "May you live a long time." A wind lifted me up between heaven and earth and carried me to the great city Nineveh, city of blood. And I thought, woe is me, for my attitude has been contentious, and now my life is at great risk. So I arose in distress in order to pray and entreat the favour of the name of the Lord God of Israel. I confessed all my transgressions and my sins, for my attitude had been contentious, and I said, "Ah, Lord, I have acted wrongly, I have transgressed, I have sinned. For my attitude has been contentious. You are the Lord God, the one who made everything by command from your mouth, and who, with a word from your lips, will revivify the dead." He said to me, "Go to the house of filth, near the market district." And I went just as he commanded me. He said to me, "Turn this way," and so I turned. He touched me, then I saw a man who was despicable, broken down and in pain. That despicable man said to me, "Zerubbabel, what business do you have here? Who has brought you here?" I responded and said, "A wind from the Lord lifted me up and carried me to this place." He said to me, "Do not be afraid, for you have been brought here in order that he might show you. Then you in turn might inform the people of Israel about everything which you see." When I heard his words, I was counselled and regained my self-composure. I asked him, "Sir, what is the name of this place?" He said to me, "This is mighty Rome, wherein I am imprisoned." I said to him, "Then who are you? What is your name? What do you seek here? What are you doing in this place?" He said to me, "I am the Messiah of the Lord, son of Hezekiah, confined in prison until the end of time. Till the time of the end." When I heard this, I was silent, and I hid my face from him. His anger burned within him, and when I looked at him again, I became frightened. He said to me, "Come nearer to me." And as he spoke to me, my limbs quaked, and he reached out his hand and steadied me. "Don't be frightened," he said, "and let your mind show no fear." He encouraged me and said, "Why did you become silent and hide your face from me?" I said to him, "Because you said, 'I am the servant of the Lord,' his Messiah, and the light of Israel. Suddenly he appeared like a strong young man, handsome and adorned. I asked him, "When will the light of Israel come?" And I was speaking to him. Behold, a man with 2 wings approached me and said to me, "Zerubbabel, what are you asking the Messiah? What are you asking the Messiah of the Lord?" And I answered him and said, "I ask when the appointed time for deliverance is supposed to come." "Ask me," he replied, "and I will tell you." I said to him, "Sir, who are you?" He answered and said, "I am Michael, the one who delivered good news to Sarah. I am the leader of the host of the Lord God of Israel, the one who battled with Sennacherib and smote 180,000 men. I am the prince of Israel, the one who fought battles against the kings of Canaan. In the time to come, I will fight battles of the Lord alongside the Messiah of the Lord, he who sits before you, with the king, strong of face, as Panim, with the Armelos, the son of Satan, the spawn of the stone statue. The Lord has appointed me to be the commanding officer over his people, over those who love him, in order to do battle against the leaders of the nations." Michael, who is also Metatron, answered me, saying, "I am the angel who guided Abraham throughout all the land of Canaan. I blessed him in the name of the Lord. I am the one who redeemed Isaac and wept for him. I am the one who wrestled with Jacob at the crossing of the Jabbok. I am the one who guided Israel in the wilderness for 40 years in the name of the Lord. I am the one who appeared to Joshua at Gilgal. I am the one who rained down brimstone and fire on Sodom and Gomorrah. He placed his name within me. Metatron in Gematria is the equivalent of Shaddai. As for you, Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, whose name is Jeconiah, ask me, and I will tell you what will happen at the end of days." Then he said to me, "This is the Messiah of the Lord. He has been hidden in this place until the appointed time for his manifestation. This is the Messiah of the lineage of David, and his name is Menahem ben Amiel. He was born during the reign of David, king of Israel, and a wind bore him up and concealed him in this place, waiting for the time of the end." Then I, Zerubbabel, posed a question to Metatron, the leader of the host of the Lord. He said to me, "The Lord will give a rod for accomplishing these salvic acts of Hephzibah, the mother of Menahem ben Amiel. A great star will shine before her, and all the stars will wander aimlessly from their paths. Hephzibah, the mother of Menahem ben Amiel, will go forth and kill 2 kings, both of whom are determined to do evil. The name of the 2 rulers whom she will slay, Noph, king of Teman, so named because he shake Henif, his hand towards Jerusalem, is the first one, and the name of the second is Isrenan, king of Antioch. This conflict and these signs will take place during the festival of Shavuot in the 3rd month. The word is true. 420 years after the city and temple have been rebuilt, they will be destroyed a second time. 20 years after the building of the city of Rome, after 70 kings corresponding to the 70 nations have ruled in it, when 10 kings have finished their reigns, the 10th king will come. He will destroy the sanctuary, stop the daily offering, the saintly people will be dispersed, and he will hand them over to destruction, despoiling and panic. Many of them will perish due to their faithfulness to Torah, but others will abandon the Torah of the Lord and worship their, i.e. Rome's, idols. When they stumble, a little help will provide assistance. From the time that the daily offering ceases and the wicked ones install the one whose name is Abomination in the temple, at the end of the 990 years, the deliverance of the Lord will take place. When the power of the holy people is shattered, to redeem them and to gather them by means of the Lord's Messiah. The rod which the Lord will give to Hephzibah, mother of Menahem, ben Amiel, is made of almond wood. It is hidden in Rakat, a city in the territory of Naphtali. It is the same rod which the Lord previously gave to Adam, Moses, Aaron, Joshua, and King David. It is the same rod which sprouts buds and flowered in the tent of meeting for the sake of Aaron. Elijah ben Eleazar concealed it in Rakat, the city of Naphtali, which is Tiberias. Concealed there, as well as a man whose name is Nehemiah ben Hushiel, ben Ephraim, ben Joseph. Zerubbabel spoke up and said to Metatron and to Michael, the prince, "My lord, I want to tell me when the Messiah of the Lord will come, and what will happen after all this." He said to me, "The Lord's Messiah, Nehemiah ben Hushiel, will come 5 years after Hephzibah. He will collect all Israel together as one entity, and they will remain for 4 years in Jerusalem, where the children of Israel will offer sacrifice, and it will be pleasing to the Lord. He will inscribe Israel in the genealogical lists according to their families, but in the 5th year of Nehemiah and the gathering together of the holy ones, Sefer, king of Persia, will attack Nehemiah ben Hushiel and Israel, and there will be a great suffering in Israel. Hephzibah, the wife of Nathan, the prophet and mother of Menahem ben Amiel, will go out with the rod which the Lord God of Israel will give to her. And the Lord will place a spirit of dizziness upon them, i.e. the Persian army. And they will kill one another, each slaying his companion or his countryman. There the wicked one, Sefer, will die." When I heard this, I fell on my face and said, "O Lord, tell me what Isaiah the prophet meant when he said, 'There the calf will graze, and there it will crouch down and finish its branches.' He said to me, 'This calf is Nineveh, the city of blood, which represents mighty Rome.'" I continued asking there about the Prince of the Holy Covenant. He held me close, and they brought me to the house of filth and scorn. There he showed me a marble stone, shape of a maiden. Her features were formed lovely and indeed very beautiful to behold. Then he said to me, "This statue is the wife of Belial. Satan will come and have intercourse with it, and a son named Armelos will emerge from it, whose name in Greek means, 'He will destroy a nation.' He will rule over all peoples, and his dominion will extend from one end of the earth to the other, and 10 letters will be on his hand. He will engage in the worship of foreign gods and speak lies. No one will be able to withstand him, and anyone who does not believe in him, he will kill with the sword. Many among them will he kill. He will come against the holy people of the Most High, and with him there will be 10 kings wielding great power and force, and he will do battle with the holy ones. He will prevail over them, and he will kill the Messiah of the lineage of Joseph, Nehemiah ben Hushiel, and he will also kill 16 righteous ones alongside him. Then they will banish Israel to the desert in 3 groups. But Hephzibah, the mother of Menahem ben Amiel, will remain stationed at the eastern gate. The wicked one will not enter there, thereby confirming what is written, but the remainder of the people will not be cut off from the city. This battle will take place during the month of Av. Israel will experience distress and such as there never was before. They will flee into the towers, among mountains, and into caves. But they will be unable to hide from him. All the nations of the earth will go astray after him, except for Israel, who will not believe in him. All Israel shall mourn Nehemiah b. Hushiel for 41 days. His thoroughly crushed corpse will be thrown down before the gates of Jerusalem, but no animal, bird, or beast will touch it, due to the intensity of the oppression and the great distress. The children of Israel will then cry out to the Lord, and the Lord will answer them. As I listened to the content of the prophecy of the Lord to me, I became very agitated and got up and went to the canal. There I cried out to the Lord God of Israel, the God of all flesh, and he sent his angel to me while the prayer was still in my mouth, before I had finished it. The Lord sent his angel to me, and when I saw him, I knew that he was the angel who had spoken with me regarding all the previous matters. I knelt and bowed before him, and again he touched me, like he had the first time. He said to me, "What's the matter with you, O Zerubbabel?" I answered him, "Sir, my spirit remains depressed." Metatron responded by saying to me, "Ask me questions, and I will provide you with answers before I depart from you." So I again asked him, and said to him, "My lord Metatron, when will the light of Israel come?" He answered and said to me, by the Lord who has sent me, and who has appointed me over Israel, I solemnly swear to reveal to you the Lord's doings, for the Holy God previously commanded me, Go to my servant Zerubbabel, and tell him the answers to whatever he may ask you. Then Michael, who is also Metatron, said to me, Come closer and pay careful attention to everything which I shall tell you, for the word which I am speaking to you is true. It was one spoken by the living God. He said to me, Menahem b. Amiel will suddenly come from the 14th day of the first month, i.e. the month of Nisan. He will wait by the valley of Arbel at a tract which belonged to Joshua b. Jehozadak, the priest, and all the surviving sages of Israel. Only a few will remain due to the attack of the pillage of Gog and Armelos, and the plunderers who despoiled them will come out to him. Menahem b. Amiel will say to the elders and to the sages, I am the Lord's Messiah. The Lord has sent me to encourage you and to deliver you from the power of these adversaries. The elders will scrutinize him and despise him, for they will see that despicable man garbed in rags, and they will despise him just as you have previously did. But then his anger will burn within him, and he will don garments of vengeance as his clothing, and will put on a cloak of zealousness. And he will journey to the gates of Jerusalem. Hephzibah, the mother of Messiah, will come and give him the rod by which the signs were performed. All the elders and the children of Israel will come and see that Nehemiah b. Hushiel is alive and standing unassisted, and immediately they will believe in the Messiah. Thus did Metatron, the leader of the host of the Lord, swear to me, this matter will truly come to pass, for there will be full cooperation between them, in accordance with the prophecy of Isaiah. Ephraim will not envy Judah, nor will Judah antagonize Ephraim. On the 21st day of the first month, 990 years after the destruction of the temple, the deliverance of the Lord will take place from Israel. Menahem b. Amiel, Nehemiah b. Hushiel, and Elijah the prophet will come and stand by the Mediterranean Sea and read the prophecy of the Lord. All the bodies of those Israelites who had thrown themselves into the sea while fleeing from the enemies will emerge. A sea wave will rise up and spread them out and deposit them alive within the valley of Jehoshaphat near the Wadi Shittim, for their judgment will transpire upon the nations. In the second month, i.e. Iyar, the congregation of Korah, and they re-emerge upon the plains of Jericho near the Wadi Shittim. They will come to Moses, and the cohort of the Korahites will assemble. On the 18th day of it, the second month, the mountains and the hills will quake, and the earth and everything on it will shake, as well as the sea and its contents. On the first day of the third month, those who died in the desert will revive and will come with their families to the Wadi Shittim. On the 18th day of the month of Sivan, i.e. the third month, there will be a mighty earthquake in Eretz Israel. In Tammuz, the fourth month, the Lord God of Israel will descend upon the Mount of Olives. The Mount of Olives will split open at his rebuke. He will blow a great trumpet, and every foreign deity and mosque will crumple to the ground, and every wall and steep place will collapse. And the Lord will kill all the plunderers, and he will battle those nations like a warrior, fired with zeal. The Lord's Messiah, Menahem B. Amiel, will come and breathe in the face of Armelos, and thereby slay him. The Lord will place each man's sword on the neck of his companion, and their dead bodies shall fall there. The saintly people will come out to witness the Lord's deliverance. All of Israel will actually see him equipped like a warrior, with the helmet of deliverance on his head, and clad in armour. He will fight the battle of Gog Ha Magog. I'm just not with it this morning. And against the armies of Armelos, and all of them will fall dead in the valley of Arbel. All of Israel will then issue forth and despoil their despoilers, looting those who previously plundered them, for 7 months. However, some survivors will escape, and they will all regroup in Zelah Ha-Elef, 500 men, and another 100,000 wearing armour. Opposing them will be 500 from Israel, with Nehemiah and Elijah, and you, O Zerubbabel, will be their leader. They will kill all of them. 1 man will pursue 1,000. This will be the third battle, for 3 battles will take place in the land of Israel. One will be waged by Hephzibah with Sarai, the king of Persia, who will be fought by the Lord God of Israel, and Menahem B. Amiel with Armelos, the 10 kings who are with him, and Gog and Magog. And the third will be at Zelah Ha-Elef, where Nehemiah B. Hushiel and Zerubbabel will see action. The third battle will take place in the month of Av. After all this has taken place, Menahem B. Amiel will come, accompanied with Nehemiah B. Hushiel and all Israel. All of the dead will resurrect, and Elijah the prophet will be with them. They will come up to Jerusalem in the month of Av, during which they formally mourn for Nehemiah and for the destruction of Jerusalem. Israel will hold a great celebration and bring an offering to the Lord, which the Lord will accept on their behalf. The offering of Israel will be pleasing to the Lord, as it was formerly during her past history. The Lord will discern the pleasant aroma of his people, Israel, and greatly rejoice. Then the Lord will lower the celestial temple, which had previously been built, to earth, and a column of fire and cloud of smoke will rise up to heaven. The Messiah and all of Israel will follow them to the gates of Jerusalem. The holy God will stand in the Mount of Olives. Dread at the reverence for him will be upon the heavens and the uppermost heavens, the entire earth and the deepest levels, and every wall and structure to their foundations. No one will be able to catch their breath when the Lord God reveals himself before everyone on the Mount of Olives. The Mount of Olives will crack open beneath him, and the exiles from Jerusalem will come up to the Mount of Olives. Zion and Jerusalem will behold these things and ask, "Who bore these to us? Where have these been?" Nehemiah and Zerubbabel will come up to Jerusalem and say to her, "Behold, they are your children whom you bore, who went into exile from you. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion." Again I started to question Metatron, leader of the host of the Lord. "Sir, show me how far and how wide Jerusalem will extend, along with its architecture." He showed me the walls which surrounded Jerusalem, walls of fire extending from the great desert unto the Mediterranean Sea and unto Euphrates River. Then he showed me the temple and the structure. The temple was built on the peaks of 5 mountains, which the Lord had chosen to support his sanctuary: Lebanon, Mount Moriah, Tabor, Carmel, and Hermon. Michael spoke and said to me, "At the completion of 990 years, for the ruins of Jerusalem is the appointed time for the deliverance of Israel." He also continued to interpret for me the message and the vision in accordance with that he had first said to me. "If you wish to know, ask. Keep coming back." In the 5th year of the week, Nehemiah Yehushiel will come and gather together all Israel. In the 6th year of the week, Hephzibah, the wife of Nathan the prophet, she who was born in Hebron, will come and slay the 2 kings of Noth and Esarhaddon. That same year, the shoot of Jesse, Menahem b. Amiel, will spring up. 10 kings from among the nations shall also arise, but they will not supply enough rulers to rule for a week of years, and a half of years, which one ruling for 1 year. These are the 10 kings who will arise over the nations for the week of years. These are their names correlated to their cities and their places. The first king is Silcom, and the name of the city is Sepharad, which is Aspamia, a distant country. The second king is Hartamos, and the name of his city is Gitania. The third king is Flevas, maybe Flavius, and the name of his city is Floias. The fourth king is Gluas, Julius, and the name of his city is Gallia, or Gaul, maybe. The fifth king is Ramoshtis, and the name of his city is Moditica. And the sixth king is Moklanos, and the name of his city is Italia. The seventh king is Octinos, and the name of his city is Dormis. The eighth king is Aplostos from Mesopotamia. The ninth king is Saroy from the king of Persia. The 10th king is Armelos, the son of Satan, who emerged from the sculpted stone. He will gain sovereignty over all of them. He will come along with the rulers of Kedar and the inhabitants of the east and provoke a battle in the valley of Arbel, and they will take possession of the kingdom. He will ascend with his force and subdue the entire world. From there, in Riblah, which is Antioch, he will begin to erect all the idols of the nations on the face of the earth and to serve their gods, those who the Lord hates. During those days, there will be reward for neither human nor beast. He will construct 4 altars, and he will anger the Lord with his wicked deeds. There will be a very terrible and harsh famine upon the surface of the whole land for 40 days. Their food will stem from the salt plant, leaves plucked from the shrubbery, and broom to sustain them. On that day, a fountain will flow forth from the temple of the Lord, and will fill the Wadi Shittim. Now this Armelos will take his mother, the statue from whom he was spawned, from the house of the filth, of the scornful ones, and from every place and from every nation they will come and worship that stone, burn offerings to her, and pour out libations to her. No one will be able to view her face due to her beauty, and anyone who refuses to worship her will die in agony like animals. This is the mark of Armelos. The colour of the hair of his head is similar to gold, and he is green, even the soles of his feet. His face is 1 span in width, his eyes are deep set, and he has 2 heads. He will rise and rule over Yemis, the province of Satan, the father of Belial. All who see him will tremble before him. Menahem will come up from the Wadi Shittim and breathe in the face of Armelos, and thereby slay him, just as it is written. He will slay the wicked one. He will slay the wicked one with the breath of his mouth. Israel will take possession of the kingdom. The holy ones of the Most High will receive sovereign power. These are the words of Metatron spoke to Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, future governor of Judah, while he was still living in exile during the time of the Persian Empire. Zechariah, Ben Anan and Elijah recorded them when the period of exile was completed. So that is it there. So like I said at the beginning, I'm not too sure about why it's saying that Archangel Michael and Metatron are the same when other scriptures are saying that it's Enoch and Metatron are the same. Maybe someone knows and understands that and can explain to me. If you can, please do. Unless there is that anyway. So I'm now down to Baruch, and then I've got Thomas, James, John, Peter and Paul left, and Adam at the top. As I said before, I'd do Adam at the end as well. So I'm getting through them now, not too many left to do. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll speak to you all soon. God bless.